40 million views on YouTube, over 4,000 people had attended at this point, and over 10 camps held. We knew for a fact we were onto something big. So a few years ago, I started a thing with a very well-known YouTuber called SV2. I scaled a football camp to over $500,000 with no investors, with no past experience. So in this video, I'm gonna break down exactly what I did to get started and then also what I did to scale it. So before I put the idea forward to Eman, I was already doing some small projects with him. So I was helping him with his merch, and a few other little ventures. So when I pitched the idea about the camps, it wasn't the same to what actually ended up happening. My initial idea was a way for people to get scouted. So basically what would happen is they would attend one of these camps, they would pay good money to attend one of these camps. However, these camps would be filled with scouts, and it would be a way to obviously build player identity, but also actually get scouted. So as much as it's a good idea, Eman didn't rate it as much as a entertainment sort of based fun day experience rather than something that's too serious and that would put a lot of people off. People loved the experience, parents wanted more, and the kids would leave these camps full of excitement, waiting for the next time that they could actually attend. So if we do go back to that first event, there's so many little things that happened that I could have easily stopped. Like, I could have just not done another event after that. Like not having correct forms, not collecting the right amount of data, not even having like the perfect amount of equipment or enough equipment. There were so many things that went wrong. And it wasn't that they went wrong, it's just that they weren't planned and there was no systems in place that would actually prevent any of these issues from facing, right? A lot of these things that went wrong could have been prevented, but with no prior experience, what did you expect to happen? So moving forward to how it scaled. So leveraging credibility by using SV2's friends as coaches who appear in content. This was a game changer. Having more people that are familiar in his content would allow for a better experience during camp days, right? The kids are not just there for Eman now, they're there for everyone else that's associated with the brand. This was the biggest one because there's only one SV2. And when you've got hundreds of kids trying to talk to him, trying to tell him things, trying to get photos with him, etc., it is hard. Not just for me and the staff to help manage that, but also hard on SV2 himself. So bringing familiar faces in was a massive game changer. It gave Eman some extra free time, allowed him to focus on what he's actually there for. One, filming the content, but also giving the best possible experience to each and every attendee. The next thing that I did was expand locations. My main thing was this needs to be bigger than what it is. If we're going to Dubai, we're going to Miami, it's allowing for new pieces of content to surface, right? There's only so many types of videos that he can film in the UK at the same locations, right? You need different sceneries, you need different types of people within the content, and not just limiting yourself to the UK was a massive change of one, revenue, like expanding that revenue because now you're seemed as a bigger camp. Like it's not just a UK camp, it's a global camp. So when scaling to these international places, we had to put systems in place to allow for the international growth, right? So things like seamless check-ins, well-engaged staff, venues that are modern and accommodate us in the best possible ways. Not just us, but also the attendees and the parents. Because don't get me wrong, if the parents are not happy, then none of this works. The parents have to be happy or even happier than the children that are actually attending these camps. So the growth that happened was 1 to 2 camps per year in the UK, which then obviously led to multiple UK locations. One Dubai location and Miami all in the same year was our biggest year to date. Having multiple UK locations, going international, all in the same year, gave us the confidence to expand to new locations. And the numbers don't lie. Over 40 million views on YouTube, over 4,000 people had attended at this point, and over 10 camps held. We knew for a fact we were onto something big. So now to the juicy part that you've all probably been waiting for, is the lessons learned and what I would personally do differently if I did this again. Keep it lean until your concept is bulletproof. One location, one idea, nail it. That is all you need to do. The reason why I feel like it could have been done differently is I felt like each camp that we did was improving camp after camp. However, we could have done a lot of the improvements from day one. The next thing that I would do is don't rely on later revenue to cover upfront costs. This one's quite big because it's predicting future revenue and then spending it in the current moment. And then if you don't reach that future revenue, then you're at a loss, or you're actually needing to add money into the business to keep it afloat. The next thing I do would niche down. We started to do this, but keep camps higher quality and more of a premium experience. As each camp went on, and as I was speaking to more and more parents at each camp, I was understanding that the parents wanted a more exclusive, more premium experience, right? By doing this, you increase revenue because you're able to then increase price tickets. People are willing to pay more knowing that they're going to get a much higher perceived experience, right? If they know for a fact that there's going to be thousands of pounds of prizes, there's going to be better content, overall, they're going to be happy and they're not going to leave that day feeling that they've been robbed. That's one thing that you will figure out if you do ever run events, is people need to feel that they've been over-delivered on, right? If they feel that they've been over-delivered on, they will then refer you to other people and they will keep coming back. The moment that they feel that they've been robbed or they've not matched their sort of expectations, that's when they stop going, and then that's when your revenue declines. Lastly, focus on automating systems and building out team appropriately. Not just the people that are at the event during camp days, but also away from camp. People that run the website, people that run the customer support. All of these people are important to enable growth. Without a good customer support team, none of this works out. If you're not giving high-class customer support, well, let me just tell you straight, a lot of this will not work out. One thing that I'll end this video on is don't chase growth for growth's sake. Make sure your foundations can handle it.